Do you think your career is not future proof? Are you feeling that the skills you have today may not be relevant in the coming years? Well, if the answer to these questions is a yes, then watch this video till the end because I will be sharing with you 5 tips on lifelong learning that will help you supercharge your personal growth and also make your career future proof. My name is Jamil Hai and I've been working in the corporate sector for the last 18 years. And my passion is to help you build real life skills for your job and career that they don't teach you in college. The first step is to recognize that the fancy term called lifelong learning is no longer a nice to have but a must have. Alex Toffler, who was an American futurist and the author of books like The Future Shock and The Third Wave, both of which, by the way, are good reads, and if you're interested in reading them, I've put a link to those in the description below, predicted in the 1970s that the illiterate of the 21st century will not be the people who cannot read or write, but the ones who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. Considering he predicted this in the 1970s, this was a very powerful prediction because what we know today is that the average half-life of a skill is about 5 years, which basically means that if you learned a skill, let's say 5 years ago, probably it's only 50% relevant now, and in the next 5 years, it might become completely obsolete. That's pretty scary, isn't it? Gone are the days when people used to learn 1 or 2 skills and then get hired in a company, work there for 40 years and retire at the age of 60. Now, companies are looking for more agile individuals who are able to quickly learn new skills so that as times change and the organization goes through new challenges, these employees can adapt their learning skills and stay relevant in the workforce. So the second tip is find your compelling reason or passion to learn. If you Google how to become a lifelong learner, you will find a million tips like read a book, go to a conference, watch the video, blah, blah, blah. However, the question you need to ask yourself is, why would you do all that? What will make you read a book, for example, versus binge watching on Netflix? So find the reason that will motivate you to become a lifelong learner. I'll give you my own personal example. So as I say at the beginning of each video that my passion is to help you build real life skills for your job and career, I realized after some time that the best way for me to realize my passion is to make videos on YouTube. Just less than a year ago, I had zero idea on how to make a YouTube video. I didn't know which camera to use, what lighting to use, and probably I'm still learning and my videos may not be perfect. However, that was my motivation to minimize my time on watching TV and spending the time on learning how to make YouTube videos, doing the research on the content and the topics and so on. All of these things are pretty new for me, but I have to constantly learn. I feel sometimes that I'm back in probably my elementary grades where I'm learning very basic things on how to make videos and so on and so forth. However, my reason or my why to do all this is driving me to go through that learning experience. So find your compelling reason to learn and then go after it. So the third tip is build a routine. It's always hard to learn a new skill on top of your regular job. Apart from that, we all have our own personal commitments like relationships, family, kids, parents, and so on. So building a routine will help you stay on track. In this context, there is an interesting concept called no 0 days. A 0 day is a day where you did not do anything that is helping you achieve your goal, or in this case, you have not done any learning. So make a mission that you will have no 0 days in your life. So even if you have to read one paragraph, if you have to watch 1 2-minute video, build a routine around that. Maybe say that, every day from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock at night, I'm not going to do anything but this, or I will just spend 10 minutes doing this. One more thing you can do to build a routine and staying organized is journaling. I find this very powerful. So this is my 5-minute journal, which I write every single morning and I review every single night before going to bed. So in the morning, I will just take a note of 1 or 2 things I want to do during the day. And at night, I will just check in if I did them or not. Now, you don't have to do this daily. You might just start this from a weekly frequency and then you make it daily as you go, depending on whatever works for you. But journaling definitely helps. So use these tips or any other way you have in your mind that you are comfortable with to build and stay on your routine. So the fourth tip is learn skills which are valued by your employer and your industry. Let me share with you a recent example. One of my team members who also reports to me recently introduced me to a new technical tool which will help us reduce almost 8 hours of work every week. Now that really caught my attention, and I not only encouraged this person to use that tool, but I also asked him to present it to our leadership team, which is always looking for ideas of efficiency because of the ever increasing pressure on overheads. So you can clearly see that by learning this tool, this person is not only enriching his skill set, but also getting the right visibility in the organization, which will definitely help him in his growth prospect. So try to find from your line manager or from your peer group on what tools they are working on, or go online, do some research, because learning relevant skill will definitely help you future proof your career. And the final tip is surround yourself with other lifelong learners. Now, we live in a very digitized world. So when I say surround yourself with other lifelong learners, I'm not necessarily talking about physically surrounding yourself. What I'm talking about is listen to relevant podcasts in your industry, which will help you learn more. Watch videos like this one, which will help you become better lifelong learners, because it's often said that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And we are very fortunate that we live in an age where you don't have to necessarily be physically around such people. You can actually be in their influence by just listening or watching their thoughts on a podcast or on a video or reading a book. So make sure you're spending more mental time with other lifelong learners, because when you immerse yourself in that kind of a learning environment, it's automatically going to help you stay in it. You can also do this by finding like-minded people inside your organization or outside your organization and attending forums or building networks with them, because that's another way of surrounding yourself with other like-minded lifelong learners that you want to become. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions on this topic, or you want me to make a video on any other topic, do reach out to me on LinkedIn, TikTok, or Instagram. Keep watching.